When watching movies and TV shows at a young age, we never question how scenes were portrayed and what information was shown to us through specific ways. But now we see that everything that is shown to us, from the angle of the camera to the background of a scene, has a purpose. And to understand them and how they relate to the media, we need to understand film grammar. This language is used to analyze the significance of scenes and how they interact with the entire film. The categories that are looked at include cinematography and camera movements, mise-en-scene, sound, editing, and the narrative. Each one plays a vital role in how the scene is portrayed, and the media is very important in these films, both in content and otherwise. Just as Pavlik and McIntosh say, some of the earliest films were nothing more than filmed stage plays. Others were based on popular novels or stories, as are many movies today. Film and the media go hand in hand. They are both important aspects of each other. The first and most obvious aspect of a scene is its cinematography. This is the pillar to which films are made. Here we focus on the camera and its movements, angles, shot size, lighting, and color. When looking at the movement of the camera, we see whether we are moving with the characters or staying in one place. The angle we are shown sets the tone for the scene, whether we are looking down and there is a sense of powerlessness, or up with a feeling of superiority. The shot size determines the amount of information we are given. Especially at the beginning of a scene, we sometimes get an establishing shot, which is an opening shot or sequence, frequently an exterior general view as an extreme long shot, ELS, used to set the scene. The lighting of a scene sets the environment of the scene, whether it is set outside and it's bright or high contrast and the shadows cover up information, we begin to really see the scene. Lastly, the color determines when and how we feel things. If set in black and white, we are usually in the best past as a flashback, or if the colors are more bright and warm, we feel a sense of hope at the present part of the film. Next, we look at the mise-en-scène, or the setting of a scene. This is the aspect of what happens within the scene. We are looking at broad aspects of the scene such as the design, frame, space, view of characters, and the movement of characters. In the design, we look at symmetry and how the set is laid out, which determines what we will happen and expect in that scene. The frame indicates who or what is the focus of the scene and the feelings we have towards them. The space, which includes the props and abundance of them, are what set the environment and determine the familiarity of it to both the audience and the characters in that scene. The view and movements of the characters show us whether they are isolated or moving towards or away from the camera, and that sets up for the narrative of that scene. Next, the sound, another building block of a scene, can either disorient or unify from the viewer. Whether or not there is music, sound effects, dialogue, or a narration determines the explicit information given to the audience. The most iconic use of sound is in the film Jaws, when the shark appears and the music leads up to the horror that is the shark attacking the people in the water. But without the noise, the tension in the scene would not have built up. The editing of the scene is the culmination of everything we see, which scenes and angles are chosen to be shown and how they are placed in order. It sets up the length of individual shots, rhythm, pace, position of segment, transitions, and graphics. This is the most evolved aspect of film. Before, there was only simple cuts and add-ons to place in the movie, but with the growing use of CGI and other softwares, we begin to see the impact it all really has on the film itself. Some people view this use of CGI and other things as a bad thing, that using it sets the movie apart from the plot. Others think that it opens the industry to more movies and things they can do. The best example of that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Each subsequent movie grows and builds on the graphics and feeds into the plot, making it better than before. To conclude, each aspect of film grammar is used to understand what a film is trying to tell us. But the stories and even the message being portrayed must relate back to the world at the moment it is being released. Just as Emily Nussbaum says, the best series rattle us and wake us up. The worst are numbing agents. This requires that the message and images are correlated with the time that is being portrayed. You can't understand a message if it doesn't relate to the time we are living in. That's where the media becomes involved. They are the ones that inform us and make these films relevant to us.